All right, all right. Moonlight Sonata's a little too dry. And we are live. How's everyone doing? And welcome to the drive time edition of Freeman's Journal. And we are just going to, what are we going to do? Talk about a few things I've noticed and something that I think is, a couple of things that I think are significant but underappreciated. All right. So first I want to give a prelude video and let you look at this, and then kind of want to set the table. And I saw a really good video from Game Changer, which I want to share, and get a chance to go back and watch that if give him a watch, because it was a very good stream. All right.
She said for 7 years, she said, I haven't had sex with a man because of you, my murderous son. So I got a claw hammer and I beat her to death. And I cut her head off. And I humiliated her. I said, there, now you've had sex. If there's one thing I know, it's this. A mother should not scorn her own son. If a woman humiliates her little boy, he will become hostile and violent and debased. Period. Period. If a woman humiliates her little boy, he will become hostile and violent and debased. Period. Son. If a woman humiliates her little boy, he will become hostile and violent and debased. Period.
Now that's just it's a little dark, I might say. But hey, what are you going to do? So, and what made me what also led me into this is, went through this little back and forth on Twitter, right? Yeah, JB Designs, that was rough. So, too many Black people think being physically, emotionally, and financially abused by their parents, particularly their mothers, is normal. I'm here to tell you it isn't. And then I played that video. And, the implications are dire, right? Dire.
Education. They're concerned with.
So I'm gonna start playing this real quick and let you get a primer on it. 2:14.
In her pajamas with no damn shoes on. She didn't have the decency to put some clothes on. These are pajamas. She didn't have the decency to put some clothes on knowing that the cops were coming. Everybody else, including her son, has to get up and go somewhere. Now let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that. Because people learn from what they see in addition to what they're taught. And he hasn't made the distinction yet because he doesn't understand that he's in a matriarchy. From his point of view, because he didn't just say he has a headache, he said he had a migraine, which I, quite frankly, for a long period of time, and I know it's not technically or scientifically that, but something like that is connected to menstrual cycles. It's implied when a woman says that she has a migraine that it's a byproduct, it's a side effect of her cycle. So that's the word that this young man used to describe the type of headache that he has. He's used to seeing a woman sit on her ass and not work for 15 damn years. To walk around wearing pajamas barefoot for 15 years. And if anybody questioned it, if anybody pushed mama, if anybody shoved mama, mama would call the police on them. So that's what he sees. A woman not really contributing to society, but dictating how society contributes to her. And he's under the impression that he could do the same thing with the same results.
Now that is that is an important point. Right? No man to show him how to react. He has a headache. Well, not a headache, specifically a migraine in order to, deal with life. And this is a young boy who just relates to the world like a woman.
This screaming, this, quite frankly, young man, you're screaming like a bitch. And which is going to make school worse for you. Like, school isn't better for you now. You wasn't at home because you had a migraine. You were staying at home because for social or academic reasons, school is less comfortable for you than it is for most children. Because you're not even like,
All right, let me skip ahead.
Just stop resisting. Stop resisting. Let go.
That is his mother telling him to stop resisting. That's his mom.
Begging at your mama bare feet while the white men are pushing you to the ground. This is a matriarchy. This man-child is begging at his mama's bare feet.
I mean, look at it. I mean, right there. Big old nasty foot. He's got his hand out begging. I mean, good God.
While the white man forces you to the ground. She's getting off on this. He is now humbled. He now knows not to disobey mama. Remember before I was telling y'all that I was going to explain to y'all exactly the process that they use to control their sons? This is it. This is it. He has now been completely humbled. The daughter is about to grow up and start a matriarchy of her own. The son has been raised in a way to where he can't appeal to any other community.
This is important. Catch this. Catch this.
Men look at somebody like this with sheer and complete and total fucking disgust, to be frank as possible. Same as women of other communities. The only one that's going to take him in is another fat bitch that he would also have to bow to the feet of. Exactly, butt breaking.
Go, buddy. Yo, my neck. You something hospital. I will monitor him. That's not how it works. You have to take him to the hospital when you can. I was here. Yo, you heard her. You can comply, buddy. Let go. Get down. Go, buddy. Yo, my neck. You something hospital. I will monitor him.
Dude, just real quick. Just imagine being this cop. Being a cop sucks. I mean, there's no easy answer to policing, but good. I don't think people go to the police academy hoping to get into this situation. I mean, this is all jacked up, and it's all in the community culture.
Is that how it works? You have to take them to the hospital when you jail. No, I wasn't.
There's another barefoot bitch right there. For all the crap that they talk about these barefoot women overseas, y'all ain't got no damn shoes on. There's people that spit on the same ground, and I'm pretty sure you live in a neighborhood where homeless people piss on it. And dogs piss on it. And you're just walking on it with your bare feet and tracking it back into your house. You're a disgusting human beings. And they talk about, oh, you messing with those overseas. At least they look worth a damn. This is disgusting.
Oh my brother. Just no, they just go.
Okay, he says, is that the mom saying that or something? No, that's the mom. That's the mom who's he's begging at. The woman right here, this fat hooves, is his sister likely.
You'll be out. You'll be out when they let you out.
Mom, no. Mom, just don't press that. Just don't press that. I'm not going around. Mom, put your hands behind your back, buddy.
You see that? Even while saying, you know, she's happy, like, yeah, he learned his lesson. He's begging at my feet now. You need to stop doing the shit that you be doing around here. In other words, respect my authority. I am the matriarch.
Respect my authority. I am the matriarch. God dang.
Okay, we'll figure something out, please. We'll figure something out, I swear. I swear we'll figure something out, I swear. We'll figure something out, I swear, please. Ow, my arm. Ow. Touch me, mom. Back up. No.
Nothing but women. Nothing but women in the background. Nothing but women at home during the day. These aren't housewives. These aren't any wives. These are women just eating off the system, getting fat off the system.
You have to stupid. Please put your hands behind your back. Please put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Please put your hands behind your back. Now we got more officers coming. I'm not gonna be able to control shit.
Okay, come on, I'm not bad.
Now, do it now.
Stop pushing my head.
Do it now. Do the action today.
This is the results of being, this is what this environment breeds. When I was just a little boy, results of
You're not going to stand up. We're going to have to carry you.
Get off me.
Come on, go up.
No. Get off of me.
Stand up.
Stand up. I want you to get off of me. I just want to get off of me. Stand up. Get off of me. Come on. Ow, stop me. Stop touching me.
Adrian, just stand up. Stand up. Put your feet below.
Stop touching me.
You're not going to stand up. We're going to have to carry you.
Stop touching me.
This is the results of being, this is what this environment breeds. When I was just a little boy, just a little nigger, I hated, largely because I didn't understand them. I really hated shots from the doctor. I know they still do it. It's just an unfortunate part of adolescence. But I hated it. But acting like this, even at I was a third his age, even then, is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So, which leads me to conclude that, in addition to poor upbringing, because he threatened suicide. I think that there's something else up with this kid. That now, granted, there's something up with a lot of kids, possibly chemically, but it's the parents' responsibility to, first of all, catch this and have a proper reaction to it. And that proper reaction isn't to just let it play out until he's 15 and then call the cops on him. No, something's up with this kid, and maybe the migraines is a result of it.
Chicken.
Yes,
Get up, come on. Get your back. Get off of my neck.
Adrian, get in the car.
I want to please get off of me.
Stop pushing me, bro.
Good job. Good job. I know, man.
You okay?
I'm good.
You got scratch anything?
No, I'm good. But I mean, here's the deal.
Good look.
I'm still alive, yeah.
A lot of people like to paint cops as sadistic. They have to arrest this. The mother asked them to do this, and then told the boy to stand outside and wait for the cops. This was going to happen, But they did not want to do this. They did all that crap. Who wants to do that? I mean, he put them in the car. He's like, "Fuck this job." I don't blame him. I never got scratched at my job. I damn sure I never had to. I don't even want to smell that shit. I don't want to smell a bunch of fat barefooted bitches' feet. Like all of this. I'm so glad I did not become a cop.
This man. 597. Hi, could you come downstairs? Your son wants to talk to you. We need to sign some papers.
Damn, this guy old.
Yeah, he is old. Still in the street, like, ooh, like, buddy, you gotta go home. Oh man, let's see. It's one of the reasons you can't relate to men of other cultures worshiping women. Yeah, you can't. You cannot. And the key thing was when GC said, "This is what this environment creates," right? This is what this environment creates. So we're going to take a look at, where is it? Fells Point. We're going to take a look at Fells Point. Uh-oh. Avery Friedman's home.
I don't know. He said he wants to talk to you. If you don't want to talk.
Another weekend and another case of violence in Fells Point. Video into our newsroom shows a number of fights that broke out yesterday. It's another case of violence in one of Baltimore's most important business areas. Fox 45's Jeff Abel is live right now with calls for peace in that area. Jeff?
Well, on most weekends, the city has been shutting down this street, Thames Street, and others that are rolling into Fells Point because of crowd control measures. But they have seemed to be doing very little to keep the fists from flying. Those who live and work in Fells Point spent this day clearing glass, replacing shattered windows, and recovering from a weekend crowd that was fighting mad.
I just heard people howling and screaming, and I heard sound like shots, and that was it.
It was 2 a.m. when the anger erupted here at Broadway and Shakespeare Streets. Videos posted on social media show fists swinging, feet kicking, and an all-out brawl that just wouldn't seem to stop.
Well, it definitely seemed out of control.
It seems like people are hurting, angry, going through changes.
Online video shows police moving in and attempting to break up the fight. Eventually, the crowd dispersed, and according to police, there were no arrests. The incident comes just 2 weeks after another fight erupted on Thames Street in Fells Point. No one was injured then, but those who live and work here were concerned.
Well, they had tequila bottles with straws. They had a lot of
Well, some Fells Point residents are on edge following a double shooting Sunday night that sent two 21-year-olds to the hospital. Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor spoke with one neighbor who says he heard gunshots and believes he saw the suspect running away.
Lifelong Baltimore resident Ed Marcinko
I'm getting up in my wonder years.
has never lived anywhere other than Bank Street and never thought he'd leave
I want to enjoy them in a crime-free area.
until now.
It's getting to be like the Wild West here.
Marcinko claiming the bustling location just a few blocks up from the Broadway Market, a Fells Point staple,
We had kids playing 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, doors left unlocked.
no longer feels like the same place he grew up.
Now you're double checking your locks. People want you to have cameras all over the place. We shouldn't live like this.
Last night, Marcinko's Sunday evening chores interrupted around 5:45
I heard 5 bangs, and I said, this doesn't sound right.
by a barrage of bullets striking Broadway Street, despite the dozens of cameras pointing in every direction.
There's no law and order.
According to police, two 21-year-old men were struck, one with multiple graze wounds, the other shot several times in the body. Marcinko witnessing a victim waiting for medics to arrive in a car. With 6 bullet holes piercing the driver's side window.
It's broad daylight. I was shocked.
On social media, residents sharing this photo and surveillance video of a man allegedly fleeing the scene.
Saw a man run by my house, holding his left hand to his dip side like he was holding something.
BPD confirming he's a potential suspect, but not revealing any of the circumstances surrounding the shooting, only saying no arrests have been made and an investigation is ongoing.
Baltimore City's losing population. This is not helping this incident.
Meanwhile, Marcinko believes the responsibility to keep Baltimore's crime down and population up
Yes, homicides are down. Yes. But what about the shootings? What about the carjackings? What about the armed carjackings? People don't feel safe.
belongs in Annapolis.
We have the General Assembly right now fighting over crime issues. The problem is they started these issues by passing these ridiculous crime issues about juveniles and gun safety. We have to go back to old school. A crime is a crime. A stolen gun should be a felony.
Rebecca Pryor,
We have to enforce the law.
Fox 45 News.
3 months ago. All right. 3 weeks ago.
We're down here. Where are you at?
Well, a chaotic Friday night in Fells Point after business owners were told by city leaders things would change after complaining about illegal street parties.
Mayor Scott did reach out to me.
After months of frustration about illegal street parties from Fells Point business owners like Brian Buckhart,
We had a very productive conversation.
the hopes for change shattered just days later. On Friday night, Baltimore police responding to multiple incidents within a matter of minutes.
Just advising, it looks like they're trying to stop a party here in the square at Broadway. You might want to have a couple units come out here.
A large party inside the square. One of the reasons Buckhart and other business owners sent this letter to the mayor.
In Fells Point, since 2020, anyone, any age, can openly consume full bottles of hard liquor on the street.
One of the business owners on the letter.
Fells Point, since 2020, anyone, any age, can openly consume full bottles of hard liquor on the street.
One of the business owners on the letter.
Abbey Burger's the location.
The owners of Abbey Burger.
Dispute with a customer. I said someone spitting the call to space.
But Friday night, one of their employees fell victim to a disorderly customer just across the street.
855, what was the name of that bar?
It's Bar Cosino.
A large disturbance got physical.
A reference to 900 South Broadway in Park Osina. Can we just get a medic for a #1 female bleeding from the nose?
Last summer, fights like these were captured on video, sparking frustration from business owners, as well as concerns for their safety. Writing in part in that letter to the mayor that, quote, shootings seem inevitable if this course of action is not corrected. As business owners, we're holding on to this promise.
Commissioner Worley, with the encouragement of Mayor Scott, has committed to resolving the open container issue in Fells Point. He understands the negative impact and the recklessness of allowing it to continue.
It did nothing to stop the crowds from taking over the streets of Fells Point Friday night.
If you guys could come down to the square and just advise these people that are congregating. I'm not moving them out of the square, but their vehicles need to go or else they're going to be ticketed and towed.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.
2 weeks ago.
Well, this weekend marks the unofficial start of summer, and here in Baltimore, it also marks the start of a youth curfew across the city. However, there are questions over just how well that curfew can be enforced. Concerns are high in areas like Fells Point, where crowds and illegal street parties continue to cause frustration for residents and business owners alike. Just last weekend, police responded to multiple incidents within a matter of minutes.
Just advising, it looks like they're trying to stop a party here in the square at Broadway. You might want to have a couple of units come out here.
And this weekend, it looks like police may also have their hands full. Fox 45's Vincent Hill joins us.
Okay, so my question is, why do people still go there? Like they don't not know what's going to happen. So why do they actually go there? Why do they continue to, literally risk their lives for a good time? You know what I mean? You think so, Shaka, but no, man. I mean, this has been going on and no one fixes it and people keep going. Why do people keep going? That was 2 weeks ago. Also 2 weeks ago. This is a good one.
Fox 45 cameras capturing video of a fight just feet away from police last night in Fells Point. The chaos coming on the same day Mayor Scott kicked off his summer youth engagement strategy. Tonight, Baltimore police had a message for those potentially violating curfew.
Bro, JB Designs, look, here's the kicker. The area of the city. Wait till I show you that. Just wait.
Well, Fox 45's Vincent Hill recorded that video. He looks into the concerns surrounding a rise in violence this summer. For months, Fox 45 News has heard from residents who say elected leaders and police need to be more proactive about monitoring summer crime. Maxine Stryker is sitting down with a presumptive new councilman to talk about what he would do to address those problems.
Our team coverage begins with Keith Daniels and the possibility of bringing back a strategy the city has used in the past. Keith?
Well, Kai, we've seen Maryland State Police come in before to help with BPD with enforcement. You may recall in 2022, State Police patrolled Interstate 83, handling criminal and traffic enforcement on the JFX. And tonight, from some residents, we're hearing another call for help. In Fells Point, the streets are calm now. No sign during the day of what frequently happens at night. Scenes of rowdy crowds and underage drinking with fights in the streets, frustrating local residents and business owners who look to police for a stronger crackdown on public disturbances. And the piercing sounds of illegal dirt bikes roaring through city streets, police struggling to keep control. Growing numbers of robberies and assaults, all of these so-called quality of life crimes that have Baltimore police busy despite a severe staffing shortage, which according to data from the Baltimore's police union is at least at 600 total vacancies.
600 vacancies, man. They can't get people to come and become police officers, right? The city is shrinking and there is wanton violence.
Vacancies, leaving some residents
Whatever we need, our state should be able to help us.
calling on the state to help enforce low-level crimes.
I think it would be wise to have the state police involved.
Especially in the summertime when crime escalates. If they're not able to handle it, if they're not able to control what's going on in the city, they should definitely seek help outside.
What kind of help? Help from where?
I don't think they understand that they don't want to change this. Right? They made it. The last video we saw, the guy said it is legal to drink hard liquor out in the open at any age. They don't want to change this. Right? They just put out a curfew. And this has been going on for at least a year. Like we went back 11 months. So that's 2 weeks ago. 5 days ago.
Continues to hear from residents at Fells Point and business owners who say they're fed up with the rise in crime in that neighborhood. Exactly 1 week ago, our cameras were rolling when a large fight broke out, with the action taking place just feet away from police. Tonight, Fox 45 is back in Fells, as tonight is just getting started there. Good evening. Back in
You
Fells.
see that? That's that hard liquor they're allowing. They're snatching whole bottles off people. Good God.
Tonight is just getting started there. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Vincent Hill. Let's get straight to Fox 45's Alexa Ashwell, who's joining us live from Fells. And Alexa, what's it looking like so far?
Live? She's there live. That's like being a daredevil.
Vincent, good evening from Fells Point. The crowd lively here in the historic district behind me, Broadway Square, one of the focal points of Fells Point. Common scene that we see here, the police presence here along Thames Street. We can see Baltimore police officers, some of the higher ranking officers also here, as well as area security guards for some of those area businesses. Vincent, as you mentioned, some area business owners complaining about open containers, large unruly crowds gathering. The fight you mentioned that actually happened right here near the Broadway Square area, that fight between two women just last weekend. I've been in touch with Baltimore police so far, no problems to report. But as we know, the evening just getting started, the Orioles game just letting out. We anticipate the area to get just a little bit more lively as it's only 10 o'clock and the bars stay open until 1:30, 2 a.m. Here at Broadway Square, what's become a common scene are these gates. And Vincent, I don't know if you were here then, but during the height of the pandemic, that's when these actually came about. If you recall, during the pandemic, that's when we saw the very large crowds here in Fells Point. In fact, many business owners at that time threatening to, in fact, withhold their tax revenue because of the large unruly crowds.
We ain't paying
There were a
taxes,
couple shootings in this area, and that was their response to that. So here we are again now here in 2024, and business owners.
All right, this is a couple of days ago. Like, what is this? The community is out in force. Force. Oh, Metro got you, Shaka? Oh boy, yeah, the community is out in force, bro. It just hasn't stopped, and it won't stop until they make it stop, which is crazy. So, and actually, I want to say this. I heard about this on another stream, right? The Dawson murder case, right? This is basically a woman who was basically just calling the cops on people, right? Basically, that's it. Calling the cops on people. Like, hey, you know, I'm tired of this BS in my neighborhood. This is in 2002. So some guy kicks in her front door in the middle of the night, throws an accelerant in the house, and lights it on fire. 7 dead. You understand? 7 dead. All the children dead. Like, that's Baltimore. And listen, man, my grandma had had like a little neighborhood watch thing, and they ended up donating a car. And she and a couple of other old ladies in the neighborhood would drive around and like say, "Hey, get out of here, you prostitutes," and this and that. And they'd call the cop. They'd be a neighborhood watch, just call the cops on people, basically. Same thing, man. They that car got lit on fire in her driveway, and yeah, it's bad. So they've already gone through the, hey, we're gonna snitches don't get stitches, they get barbecued, man. A whole freaking family. A whole 5 kids, bro. I heard about this like last week. I was like, really? That is crazy. They had a picture. Yeah, that's the family, man. Husband, wife, and 5 kids gone. Like, that's just crazy. Like, that is crazy. Anyway, so that's what's going on in that's what's going on in Baltimore. Now, for the shock and amazement, where is Fells Point? Where is Fells Point? So this is Baltimore. Okay, so what you're looking at if you're new here, this is the racial.map. And the orange or orangish yellow dots, black, in these like blue, little tint of purplish, right? That is the white population. Latino is pink, Asian's purple. All right. So here is Fells Point. Oh, how to get the stream back? I didn't do anything. It just, when you stop playing it, it comes back. Heck, I didn't even know it was off. But so here's Fells Point. All right. Here is Fells Point. Now, I understand Baltimore is mostly black. Right. So here's your white population. Is just this little if you can kind of see it, it's kind of hard to see, but it's this square here. See that square? That is actually the Baltimore city limits. There's a little diagonal here. So, I mean, the city's 65% black, but like this area over here is kind of burnt. Like I was over here when I was over here in like 2017 for a wedding, and I was just like, ugh, it's got weird energy, man. I don't even like it down here. But we were down here, we actually ate, and this neighborhood looked crazy. And yeah, it didn't look like I want to walk around in it at night, and this place is kind of hollowed out. Some more stores have closed over here, like the mall and stuff is completely empty. So now they're coming into this area. Like, and this is one of the few areas that white people do live, and now it's all it's just infested with crime and violence. So the name of the stream is "What If They Notice?" Right? The point is, what if they notice that black people won't even live in this, right? And I keep showing this one particular graph. Not graph, but graphic. You know, and this is Chicago, not Baltimore, but the concept is the same, right? Black people won't even live around this. Right, this area here, Inglewood, is where one of the Walmarts closed after it was destroyed twice. Right, black people left. Right, minus 44%. These areas where there weren't a lot of black people at all, you're talking plus 568%. So there was like one black person here, and now you've got 568. Right. It's just like, what are you doing, man? Like, no one wants to be around this. Nobody. Right? For all the talk of racism and all this other stuff, boy, black people evacuated for white areas. And you know, the kicker is the irony. The irony is the overlap with this map. So they left the hood areas, and the green areas in this map voted for Johnson, i.e. the hood. People evacuated the hood and went to the area which is essentially Republican, because they voted for Vallis. Look, man, what if they notice black people aren't even putting up with this? You know, I would likely want to troll a white guy living in Baltimore, bro, to be honest. Because I left California in 2012, and I see that place on fire, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I left over a decade ago. Why are you all still there? Right? Because this is flat out being allowed. It's being allowed. You know, and there's nothing to do but leave. You know, and I don't know. So that is going to bring me to the next segment, which is here.
Neighborhood. Okay.
Oh, ZZZ, you getting all the you getting the good ganja? Getting it off the streets? All right. So, firsthand segregation, black neighborhoods in Chicago, a full film. Let's see what this is.
Segregation is so pervasive, you can't really escape it. The scenery of neighborhoods change as you drive from, mile to mile.
Chicago, one of America's many cities struggling with segregated neighborhoods.
Not getting any support from the neighborhood. They see the business, they see we're open. They're not coming in. They view this place as dangerous because it's black people coming here.
How do you unite?
Now look, I got to shout out to SKC, right? All things are purposeful, right? In editing.
Mile to mile.
Chicago, one of America's many cities struggling with segregated neighborhoods.
Not getting any.
Right. Very, very purposeful. White guy with his kid. Ooh, boogity boogity.
Support from the neighborhood. They see the business, they see we're open. They're not coming in. They view this place as dangerous because it's black people coming here.
How do you unite a segregated?
Look, bro, you're about to find out this guy basically opened a Popeyes in an upper middle class neighborhood with $1 million homes.
See.
From WTTW, firsthand segregation on Local USA. Rashad Bailey's restaurant is in a mostly white neighborhood in Chicago. Now his business is getting threats from his neighbors. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes openly racist.
Big waffles? Come on. This episode of Cribs. I'm Rashad Bailey. This is my house. It's all the magic happens. The boom boom roll. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life.
Look, I'm wearing a KISS t-shirt. I'm not part of the community.
From when I was in second, third grade, cutting hair, selling juices, anything, to candy. Dinner the movie is a reflection of Rashad Bailey. I'm young, I'm hip, I'm bougie, I'm all about taste. When you get in here, it checks all the boxes. It's fun, food is quick, it's easy, it feels good, the music, the lights, it's very colorful. We're always having a birthday party. We are the Black Chuck E. Cheese of Chicago for adults. And you know, you're in bed by 12, because we ain't staying open late. It's a white residential neighborhood. $1 million residential white neighborhood. Look how nice that house is, that new brick. They own all that. Talk about it. I want to do this in my family. Live in a $1 million neighborhood and ride bikes. So maybe it won't happen for me, but it'll happen for my children. What is it, sacrificing for your last name? And I'll talk about starting your family out, you know, own a home outright.
Context clues, people. What do y'all see? All right, context clues. What do you see? Give you a hint. It's right here. Right here. Just a small businessman driving a Bentley to $1 million neighborhood. Oh, I'm not flossing. I'm not communitized. Not me. I don't know what y'all talking about.
You know, 2-3 million. That's pretty cool. When I was in college, I knew I was going to be earning away on my own.
So real quick, let's see. Let's see that community real quick. Realize. Oh, did it reset it? Oh shoot, it reset it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is the neighborhood he's talking about. Right in here. And here's directly the area that he's in. Right? So actually let me expand it out, get a little closer. So yeah, you spent 3.5, or you're trying to sell a house worth 3.5, and now you got dinner and the movie moving in. Like, and I'll be honest, man, I wouldn't want it there. I just wouldn't, you know, especially if I, you know, grew up in the South Side in the crack era and finally got over here like, yeah. And all of a sudden it's like, wait, what? No, homie. No.
When I switched over to economics, it was more so, do you want to work on Wall Street or any of that type of stuff? And I said, well, no, I want to be a small business guy. That slow grind, I'm about that. I'm a one-man army. So, you know, you got to be successful in harsh environments, places where you're not wanted, not getting any support from the neighborhood.
Bro, why would you go where you're not wanted? Seriously. Like, why? Like, would you go to a black ghetto in North Carolina and open a bagel shop and be like, hey, man, nobody's coming in here? Yeah, they don't eat bagels, homie.
They see the business. They see we're open. They're not coming in. They come by and say stuff to me, mean things. They, meaning the white people in the neighborhood. Why don't you go home? Why don't you go back where you came from? They'll call my voicemail and, you know, call us a bunch of savages. All type of stuff.
Oh, that was, you see that?
All type of stuff.
What type of joint is this? Ooh. Uh-oh.
Even having a response can essentially risk my freedom and the people I take care of. They just let it go. They view this place as dangerous because there's black people coming here. And in a 2-month span, we had the police called 126 times. Some of them get out the car and say, hey, we got a call, we don't see anything. So when they say it's a noise thing, I'm like, well, it's not a noise thing. Because the building is soundproof. So you're not gonna hear any music at its loudest outside. Sometimes people are just panicking. I see 5 or 6 black people walking to their cars in my $2 million home. I got a problem with it.
You know, black people live in this neighborhood. Let me go. This motherfucker. Boy, I tell you what. This motherfucker. So, right, there are black people that live in this neighborhood. Not a lot, right? But look, that's about 10%, right? Non-Hispanic white, 2,000, Hispanic Latino, actually a little less than, right on about 10%. So there are black people that live in that neighborhood. Are the residents clutching their purse? No. Why? Because they're all the same. Black people, I doubt very seriously black people move to this neighborhood to have a fried chicken joint and draw on the community. Like, come on, man. I mean, heck, this is Wrigleyville. If you don't know Chicago, this is Wrigleyville where the Cubs play, right? And you can see a lot more black people there just from this distance. So, heck, that's almost a third black. And this is way on the north side. So this whole, it's just because black people are there. Well, black people live in the neighborhood, homie. They're just not riding around in Bentleys and bumping music and running a business that is bringing a disturbance. Oops.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what they're doing.
It's harassment.
Right? Was this like a show of force? Right? All these police officers. Like for what? For what? You know, there's no like, I guess, process to like stop a person from calling the police. And they just show up because, you know, every time you think it's legitimate. We did have a shooting. Because, you know, every time you think it's legitimate, we did have a shooting. You just show up because, you know, every time you think it's legitimate, we did have a shooting. The day we had a shooting, we called the police and said, hey, we need some help. That night, we had like 4 birthday parties in here. We were telling everybody they got to go. They can't stay to 2 in the morning.
No, what you're gonna see here is a difference in culture and expectations.
When we closed at 12, we're getting them out of here. And outside, people weren't really leaving. I called the police. Some time went by. Within like 15 minutes, people started shooting. Nobody got shot. And I felt like somebody was just shooting in the air, trying to be, you know, macho. I thought it was.
You know, ain't no big deal. I'm conditioned for gunshots, so no big deal. Maybe the people in that community are not, because I am not. You know, having a ghetto bird overhead when I'm a teenager and hearing gunshots and cars peeling out down the street. Maybe I'm just tired of that shit. Maybe I'm just fucking sick of it, and I didn't move to this neighborhood for that. Maybe.
It's crazy. I was like, I'm under attack. I called the police. They don't show up. You know, then they show up late. We probably got 40, 50 calls that night. Rightfully so. You've had a shooting and you got a family upstairs or across the street. 100%. I get a family too. I understand. And when they showed up, they could just sent one car. They showed up with 30 minutes late. You know, I was upset about that. Then maybe an hour later, they came in and said, oh, we got to close you because you're a public nuisance and a safety risk and whatnot. And I said, well, to be a nuisance, it has to be some type of proof. But that's not the case. With this little law they have it set now, it's at the discretion of the commander to close a business once something happens. Of course, we were closed. Then they broke into the business.
Right. I mean, look at these questions. Why is there so much hate towards us? Bro, you put a community magnet in $1 million neighborhood. What are you talking about?
Here we go. Yo. Hey, we're not doing that. That loud come on, man. Yeah. No. Yeah, that loud music, that ain't it. Yeah. To hold me.
Look at the bro. No. Look at the clientele.
You put a for what people do. I mean, I can't lock anybody up and I can't stop people from speeding. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they complain about the music outside.
Okay.
Yeah, they say I'm guilty.
Gotcha. Say less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speeding. Yeah, and then they complain about the music outside.
Okay.
Yeah, they say I'm guilty.
Gotcha. Say less.
Yeah.
Okay, baby.
Yeah, we just want to let everybody know, hey, even next, all right. It's a way in which they can keep the city segregated because you can be prejudiced with the business that you close based off of anything happening. We play black people music and we have black customers, and that's the problem. So anytime they see a black person walking to their car, they're going to say that's got to be a customer from Dinner in the Movie.
Except the people that live there.
And we have black customers, and that's the problem. So anytime they see a black person walking to their car, they're going to say that's got to be a customer from Dinner in the Movie.
So look, your establishment is a dangerous place. The place with the shooting, like the only place with the shooting in the neighborhood. Having armed security guards shouldn't be something that's needed, right? Dude, you could have opened a wheatgrass shop, right? They would have loved a wheatgrass shop in this neighborhood, right? You can't just get down like what's that one business? Slutty Vegan. You can't get down like Slutty Vegan, right? You couldn't just franchise that. You want to do Dinner in a Movie? No, man. There have been many fights before this. Oh, I don't think that was in the video. Many of us who can be seen going to the bathroom in the alley behind your building. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Things will happen. That's why you have police. So putting this all on the
See, and that's the cultural thing. Things will happen. Like, bro, I have no patience for quote unquote things happening. And a lot of people don't. Like, I don't even understand the impetus behind this. Well, I do understand the impetus because this would have been closed in the first week, opened in the South Side. This would have stayed open. Grand opening, grand closing. That's why. You can't run this in the South Side. So he did it here, and the customers got him closed down anyway.
business owner. We had the town hall already coming before the shooting. That was already going to happen. Then we had our situation with the police where they wanted to talk about what we were going to do differently to open back up. And that's when we gave them a security plan. That's why now we have surveillance. And so we have a police officer at the door at all times. Oh, I was coming right for you.
Oh yeah, that's what you want next to your $3 million home, right? People getting patted down to go into an establishment. Come on.
Yeah. So we opened back up July the 8th. It was a 60-day probation. I got to be out of here by 12 o'clock. So I got to get all the customers their food and get us out of here. What's going to be a problem? The probation doesn't allow me to open before 4:30, ever. And I can't be open past 12, ever. They give you all these constraints, things that you can't do. Doesn't matter. You're gonna make it happen. I ain't got another choice. And that's a tough constraint to put on a business. Because I might have all type of creative ideas and I might want to be open for lunch, whatever. I'm not even given that option. I think that was the last order, so all right. And everybody only got about 10 minutes, but we're officially closed. Yeah. I think he bring y'all some boxes right now. Yeah. Segregation in Chicago is boxes right now. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Segregation in Chicago is a manner in which owners of property don't allow representation of different groups to have business.
Everybody think I'm coming out. You're close.
It starts with the landlord.
Oh look, man, they got to kick people out every freaking night. Because if you've been to a clubbish environment, a lounge, whatever, it closes at 12. The parking lot clears at 1:30, maybe. Come on.
Landlords. There is always going to be some person on the other end that I have to say, will you accept me as a tenant? Pick and choose. I have people tell me no. For no reason, just said no, I'm okay.
Oh my God, did people tell you no? It's like 1950s Alabama.
They don't like my look once they met me. So that discrimination, I can't go everywhere, regardless of how successful the business may be. And they don't like a young black man. A young black man is dangerous. If we own more things, we'll have.
Bro, black people that own things would not rent to you either. I would not. Period. Like, you want to do a what? I mean, and honestly, he complains even though he got into the space, right? He's sitting here in business right now, talking about how segregated it is. And then he ran a business that drew the community and violence. And he's like, it's so unfair, the segregation. No, fool. You ran a business that is culturally incompatible with the area that you are in.
More black products and services out there.
Yeah. Okay, we got it's 11:55. Okay. Keep working hard. Just keep your head down. It might work out. Hard work got me over here. I get to Lincoln Park. That doesn't even make sense.
I just want to save business.
Then open a wheatgrass shop. Right? Open a wheatgrass shop, fool. I mean, what are you doing? Like, just a straight up question. What are you doing opening this kind of business in this neighborhood? And I think it's really unfair to try to use the neighborhood as a filter, because that's what it is. I'm going to open this business clearly targeted at the community, but I'm going to use this white neighborhood to keep the unsavory element out because they just don't want to come here. But enough of them wanted to come here that you had a shooting, and that we know it wasn't just a shooting, right? It wasn't like, oh, ain't nothing going on, and then all of a sudden, pow, out of nowhere. That's not what happened.
Nothing can stop me because I'm hungry and I believe in what I'm doing. Everyone wants to work a job, save their money, go on vacation, have a family. That's the American dream. That's not a black dream. That's the American dream.
Man.
Yes, it is. And I don't want you screwing it up. I do not want you screwing it up. Not for me. Because I didn't move to this neighborhood so I could have dinner and a movie open up down the street. Hell no. No.
Hey, can you grab a garbage bag from out there?
For my children, my family, I want them to look at Chicago and see endless opportunities.
Yep. They got him up out of there.
Jason Ivey has spent his life navigating Chicago's segregated neighborhoods. Using music, visual arts, and language, he strives to bridge the cultural divides.
I haven't heard anything. How is that possible?
Okay, play Crush.
All right.
You gotta play it from the beginning.
From the beginning, I agree.
Okay. It's a story?
Yeah. Music has always been a passion of mine. Like, I've been singing ever since I could talk. I've got an album that I've been working on since 2019, and it's 10 songs long.
So who are the other artists?
What you mean, other artists? In that song?
This voice.
That's me.
That was
Yeah, that's me.
That was you and me?
That was me and me. I don't really have a genre. People describe it as alternative R&B. People describe it as neo soul. I think that operating in a realm without genre has allowed me to sort of bridge the gaps across Chicago. And I think that every sort of like side of the city has their own style of art. So like you've got the West Side artists who have this sort of like very soulful way of sing-songy rap. I sort of wanted some more gospel sounding artists, which is another Chicago signature. So like even there, I like directly reference like being physically separate from like spaces. You know, am I hitting these roadblocks that are like basically just due to like race and access and like where I'm from? I feel like the arts industries don't thrive in Chicago like they should. So it's my purpose to recreate a space for that and a space for longevity and opportunities for collaboration, because I feel like that's another piece in Chicago that's missing. It's just artists don't reach outside of their.
What does that even mean? I'm having a hard time following that. I don't even know what that means.
Circles.
And I really hate to use this word because it's kind of cringe, but I know like in the city, it's just very clout based. It's really about who you know. It doesn't matter how talented you are, honestly.
But you can't know those people if you're so like split up in the city. If the city's segregated, you'll never get into those same spaces with like who you need to know.
Like some of those people want to stay split up too.
In Chicago, if you're a part of this group, then you're part of this group and you're known as that forever. Like,
You know, I'm listening to this and I think segregation is just a buzzword of sorts. It doesn't really mean what they think it means. Because while you have predominantly this or that in an area, you don't have exclusive neighborhoods in Chicago. You just don't. You have differing cultures, right? But you don't have racial segregation.
like you're branded, and if you're not in there, then too bad. Now you don't have access to those artists. Do you think that you have to pursue a different city in order to progress your career because Chicago just doesn't give that to you?
You don't have to leave, but You can. And then we talk about segregation. If you're only touching people in Lincoln Park, people in Brownsville not going to hear you.
No.
If you performing in Bronzeville, people in Forest Park not going to hear you. But
Right.
you want to touch all those crowds at one time and relate to them.
Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you unite a segregated city that seems to not?
Bro, maybe you just suck, man. I mean, good God. Like you're not Green Day, or the whole city doesn't love Green Day. The whole city doesn't love Snoop Dogg. I mean, what are you talking about?
Want to support artists from certain neighborhoods or certain communities or certain genres. We're being plagued by this huge thing that's been around in the city of Chicago forever, since its foundation as a city. So how can we talk about that? How can we address it? How can we accept that the city is still segregated, almost 200 years later? And I think that the best way to do that is through an easy medium to digest, and that's just art.
I'm gonna play a couple more songs because we got like
Segregation is so pervasive. You can't really escape it. You'll notice the scenery of neighborhoods change as you drive from, mile to mile, just in any particular street, in any particular direction. All of the city just transform around you. You'll see like a lack of greenery around 63rd. You'll see an abundance of greenery. Like you'll hit downtown and it'll just look different, every 10 blocks or so.
Bro, it's supposed to look different. You know why? Because the people that live there are different. It's kind of the unsaid thing that everybody, is somehow a single race, right? They say segregated as if every neighborhood is a single race, and it's not.
So, the different parts of the city have different feels, and I feel like there's a beauty to that. There is something magnificent about having so many voices heard, but why can't those voices resonate with each other? Why do we have to live in discord?
Dude, we don't live in discord, right? We live in a country of differing cultures, and in urban areas, that's all smushed together.
I think that a way to explore culture is through the taste palette. So I really love how many options there are for food in Chicago.
Ya, ¿puedes dar un orden de chilaquiles con pollo? ¿Pollo? Ya, sí. ¿Puedo probar horchata? No horchata. Gracias a ti.
I consider myself a polyglot. I speak Spanish, German. I sign American Sign Language. It's one of the biggest tools that we have as a human race, is just the ability to talk to one another.
Dime las cosas que nos dividieron, that separate us.
Las cosas que nos separan realmente es una de las cosas es el racismo que se nos está dividiendo todos. Otra de las cosas es la clase sociales, que unos creen que son más que otros. Y
Like class, yes, race, no.
las cosas es que no hay comunicación entre nosotros mismos para estar juntos.
No hay ninguna. Yeah, no hay. Language dissolves barriers. So just linguistics as a background in general allows me to understand what people are communicating. It feels great to be able to just sort of communicate with people in their comfort zone.
These are sausage strips.
I'm just trying this. This is something we've never tried before.
I grew up on the south side of Chicago in Marquette Park, very historic neighborhood, originally Lithuanian. It's the historic neighborhood where Martin Luther King marched through, and rocks and eggs and all types of things were thrown at him, insults as well. And eventually the neighborhood was integrated, and now I'm here. So clearly that worked.
Where did we get this quiche from again?
We got it from a Polish bakery.
Oh yeah, it was like northwest, right?
Lawrence and Austin or something like that?
Yeah, it was far.
And then you start speaking Polish to that lady. She was really sweet.
Yeah, she was really nice.
What did they call her again?
Dikawashka, which just means toothpick.
It means toothpick.
Yeah, I said I didn't.
I sort of flip-flopped back and forth between different demographics in school. My grammar school closed down in the 7th grade, so I had to find another school to go to. So a very, very, very dramatic change from an all-black school with an
Where do you hear this story of privilege? Oh my God.
all-black staff on the south side of Chicago to a very, very, very white Christian background school where I was the only black person really within shouting distance pretty much all times of the day. And then for high school, another all-black, all-male as well school. And I was 12 when I started there, 16 when I finished. I went to another primarily white school, the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. So I got to...
Let's go to the Ivy League. Well, UPenn. You went to UPenn. I mean, what do we...
see how different populations interact with each other.
As a parent, do you think I helped sending you to the different schools rather than the ones right here in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I feel like it was always like a trek, you having to go down Southwest Highway to get to Oaklawn. But in retrospect, you're looking at it like, oh, okay, so wait, I did see subliminal messaging of other communities, even on the way to
I
school.
want people to see what goes on in Chicago life on the day-to-day, what we celebrate, what we bring to the table, what trials and tribulations we have and what we create from that pain.
This is a taste of what to expect when we turn this into an actual exhibition where you can walk around in real life. I wanted to.
Yeah, man. Nah, he just kind of sucks. Look, so he went to this school, right? Urban Prep Academy. So I had to look, see, where did he actually go to school? Urban Prep Academy, right? It operated 3 free open enrollment, all male college preparatory high schools in Chicago, founded in 2002. So it's like, what? I mean, this guy had a privileged background, right? He went to one of the best charter schools in the city, and we know all male is good for boys. And then he went to UPenn. Are you kidding me?
To illustrate the 4 sides of Chicago, north, south, east, and west. And as you walk around the space virtually in a 3D, I think that I'm just motivated by an intrinsic desire to create. So I thought that I needed to
get a job,
to incorporate other mediums of art. And I felt like photography was a very cool medium to explore music through. And I sent my songs to 4 photographers in Chicago, and I had them just sort of dissect what they heard. And a lot of them came back to me with some very interesting concepts. This photo series that we shot in Wickard Park, we did it on the elements of gentrification. But then you could venture over to the south side, and this one was just sort of a more abstract way of saying that it's water, it's rain droplets on a window. But if you look at it in the context of the city of Chicago, you'll see, while they're all separate, at the end of the day, it's the same thing, it's the same molecules, the same structure. So I think this is a really cool.
Bro, that picture is crap. I just gotta say, it's not of something iconic. It's just crap.
Abstract way of representing how Chicago is segregated. Segregation means that resources don't flow 2 ways or 3 ways or 4 ways all the time. Usually it's a one-way street. When you're at the bottom of that street or that stream, the resources get really really skimpy down there.
What does he mean by resources? Like tax money? Resources don't flow 2 ways. Like, you got to make something, right? I mean, just get a job and then pursue your art as your hobby. I mean, good God.
When you're at the top of that stream, then it's like, oh, we've got an abundance. Let's take as much as we want, whenever we want, and not worry about the next man. My ideal Chicago would look like a place that felt like home all over the city. If there comes a time where we can visit a neighborhood without feeling like you're not a member of that community, because we're all Chicago.
But you aren't a member of that community, right? You're not. Can we, oh, we're all Chicago. Yeah. No, you're not.
Chicagoans, and I think that we've achieved what a city should be.
Yeah, so I was like, what are you talking about, bro? You know, and God, there was this real dumb comment on a line about you're not owed access to whiteness. And I was like, well, I thought it was stupid at the time, but I'm like, look at this guy. This guy's opened a community joint in, you know, a neighborhood with homes like this. Like, what are you doing? I would be incensed, right? I would be apoplectic, man. They got him up out of there, basically. And, you know, his overtly racist comments weren't overtly racist at all. I was just like, what are you doing? Well, like, why would you do that? You know? And, you know, the whole narrative thing is breaking down. Like I said, so someone's, you know, commented on reparations, man. And I was like, and I gave my opinion. And, you know, I said that it's not going to happen, right? It is not happening, right? Reparations is not coming ever, right? And not only that, the entire cultural impetus for reparations is to maintain 20th century race politics. Because look, they don't even want the money. They don't, right? When Democrats started considering it, you know, the race hustlers kind of panicked and started throwing out these just like egregious sums, like, oh, it was first $50,000 per person, no, $100,000, no, 2.5 million. You know, it's just poison pills because they don't actually want the money. They want to be able to complain about it. You know, and how are you going to earn reparations when the queens are going to be replaced politically by the Latinos? Right? How are you going to do that? All right, this is Jasmine Crockett's district. If you know Jasmine Crockett, she's political Keisha. You know, 36% Hispanic. That number's only going up. Right? Maxine Waters, her district is already 57% Hispanic. She's on borrowed time, man. I mean, once she retires, a Latino's probably going to win that district. I mean, I don't see how that doesn't happen. And, you combine the political irrelevance of the queens, no Democratic pull, waning cultural relevance, right? There's no Michael Jordan. There's no Michael Jackson. There's no Anita Baker. There's just, Beyonce, and she had to go country because the popularity of hip hop and R&B are declining, right? And you've got an increased number of Black Republicans, like a lot, and you don't notice it because it's never talked about, right? You've got I love this Hitler quoting candidate, right? Wins North Carolina Republican gubernatorial primary. Remember this guy? This guy gave the epic 2A rant, and then he became lieutenant governor, which got no press. And I was running for governor, which is also getting no press. Like, you haven't heard anything political out of North Carolina, not about this coming election. You haven't heard anything for a while. It's like North Carolina disappeared from the national map. No, that's Booker T. Washington, laughing dog. Coolest. And then you have increasing number of Republicans. Look, this, when I saw this, I was like, what? Remember this chick, Katrina Pearson? She is a spokesman for Trump. She unseated an incumbent white guy in Texas for a Texas House seat. Adios, bounced him. Now, I don't know if she'll win the general, but she bounced this dude in the primary, which is like, it's crazy. Oh, am I sharing my screen? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. I had it on that one setting. So, sorry. I was saying, so the queens are losing ground. Jasmine Crockett, 36% Hispanic. Maxine Waters district is 57% Hispanic. Right? Remember this guy, Hitler quoting candidate wins North Carolina Republican gubernatorial primary. Right? He went viral with a pro 2A speech. He got elected as lieutenant governor. Right now he's running for governor, and he'll probably win governor, which will be the most closely guarded secret imaginable. And this chick, Katrina Pearson, unseated a white guy incumbent for a Texas House seat. Right, and that's as local as it get. Oh yeah, Mark Robinson is hilarious, man, hilarious, and he gives 0 Fs, 0. And thanks again, Herman. Like, what are you gonna do? You think like it's over, right? I mean, Black people will be separated by class like all other groups, and the Black versus white paradigm will be dead because all those dudes will be dead. All those people hooked on that will be gone because the younger you get, the more. Like, the younger you get, right, the more Republican Black people get. I mean, it's just a matter of time. Like, it's you can already see it. You know, you can already see it. So yeah, man, reparations is never happening, and black people are going to be separated by class. It's really that simple. Matter of fact, here one more example. Feeling marginalized by California Democrat Party, black women push for more clout. And this is in 2019. They're going down. There's no one left to vote for them. California is only 5% black, right? You wouldn't think that if you watch TV or listen to music, right? But basically, most of that 5% is in the Bay Area and LA, right? Two major media markets. So you would think there's a lot more black people in the state. There are not. There just aren't. So yeah, it's over. I mean, it's well and truly over. So no, yeah, I didn't know either, Laughing Dog. I was just doing some research. And yep, Nick Taylor is correct. Nick Taylor is correct.
A husband and wife attacked.
Oh no, where are we at? What else did I have? No, I think that's about it. That's about all I've got today. Let me see. Beat up mayors. You ain't kidding. You are not kidding. Actually, matter of fact, on that note, let me get you right here. Let me show you this. So yeah, this looks like
I'll be hella hot. I'll be hella mad if I was in. Oh, I swear to God, if that was my house, I'll be tripping. You outside with it? Hey, they're going on this nigga's house roof. I'll be hella hot.
bro, this looks like California, and I would be extra gone. Like extra gone. This is your house. What do? I move immediately. I find an Airbnb to rent or a home to rent, move my family out, and sell that house as soon as possible. Like as soon as possible. Like there's just no way. There is just no way. I mean, let me see. I got another one on Oakland. I got another one on Oakland bookmarks. But yeah, dude, I mean, you got a street takeover right next to your house. Like, come on, bro. Who's dealing with that? I mean, the lawlessness has gone that far. We're just like, oh well, typical Saturday night. Like, good gravy. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh well. So anywho, no, that looks like Cali. That looks like Cali. Detroit 313. Hey, salute Don Gordito. Salute. Yeah, that is a nice house. I mean, look, that is a huge house. That looks like at least 4 bedroom, 4 bath. And it's right on the corner, so there's a lot of land. So it's a big lot as well. Looks like, because all the people look like they're standing in his yard. Like they got an arbor, so that's the front of the house. Dude, I would be, oh man, I would be incredibly upset. Oh, okay. Here's this one thing. And keeping with the theme. Yeah, we saw this a couple days ago.
Go back to Detroit. Go to Southfield. You're welcome in Southfield. You're welcome in Detroit. We don't want to fucking live around you people. You people.
Yes, you people. Yes, you people. No, don't want to. And look at the queens. Surrounded by the queens. Surrounded by the queens. I mean, look at this. Every single one of them would let him bust. Because they eat, they sleep, they fight. This is like a little fight. It's like a little prelude. They don't know about the Klingon mating ritual. They don't know about that. They don't know. So and now here's a black restaurant who is like, hey, I'm sick of y'all too.
ID to a hostess or to Bliss. 2 weeks ago, 36-year-old Marvin can't stop chattering about the age restrictions at Bliss. Women must be at least 30 years old and men 35 to enter the business.
It's just something for the older people to come to and have a happy hour, come get some good food, and not have to worry about some of the young folks that bring some of that drama.
And of course, we have been getting a little backlash, but that's okay because we're sticking to our code.
Everyone who enters the restaurant will have to show their ID to a hostess or a St. Louis County police officer after step to Bliss. 2 weeks ago, 36-year-old Marvin can't stop chattering about the age restrictions at Bliss. Women must be at least 30 years old and men 35.
What if people notice that black people are tired of the community? And I mean tired. Absolutely tired. So let's see. Absolutely tired. Close this. Yep. California ruined by rich gays and silver spoon liberals. You are not lying, sir. You are not lying. And here's Oakland. Dystopian. Cars on blocks. Ugh. Bro, they're taking out the stops, or they're taking out the street lights and just putting up stop signs. Ugh. Ugh, too dangerous for road work. Man, everybody's tired of it. Everybody's tired of this. Everybody's tired of the queens. I mean, and speaking of generational,
Aria, can you come here, please? Miss T is on the way. Do you need to take a breather? Is everything okay? You need to talk about anything? You want to talk about something? Come on. But that's not how you talk.
this is conditioned behavior. Bro, lightweight, look, man. For real, I would lightweight clown a white person for living around this. Like straight up. I won't. Why would you? Like, I wouldn't. All right, you got Fells Point. Well, good for and see, here's the other point that I want to make was, you know, the effort to have the narrative. You know, there's, you know, the whole white versus black thing, yada yada. You know, there's real energy behind having that be the reality. But here we are in Baton Rouge. And that new city of, oh, darn it. Did I change the defaults? No, I didn't. Just took a while. So, yeah, like these black people here, these orange dots are all going to be within that new city. The new city of St. George is going to be about 20% black. And no one wants to talk to them. Why does no one want to talk to them? You know, it is the, they are the most invisible people ever. Right? It's like where are they at? Where are they? You know? And yeah, it's just weird to me that it's not weird. I understand it, right? To keep the narrative alive, you cannot interview those people. You cannot interview the black people that are going to be in St. George, and they're like, well, at least we get a new school district. Like, I think I'd rather enjoy a new school district for my child, right? When you actually have to make real world decisions for your children, a lot of that solidarity goes away, like out the freaking window, right? Out the window. I can tell you, because so where are you going to put your own children? Nah, y'all got it. Y'all got it. So, yeah, man, what if people actually notice? What if they notice that black people are tired of it too? You know, because I mean, tell you what, if I'm in Baton Rouge, I'm all the way over here. I'll find me the best school in the area. I'm gonna live within a good driving distance of that, and that's where my daughter's going to school. And I don't really care where it is, to be honest. Don't really care. But that's where I'll be living. You know, it's down here, up here, wherever it is. It doesn't matter. So, and that is, one last thing. I will end with this. Short little video. Where you at? Right, here it is. The main man, Stossel.
So many kids from one charter school take advanced placement exams. They had to rent space at a convention center.
I mean, look at this. I don't want you to gloss over this, right? Dude, look how many kids this is. This is one school. Right, this is one school, Success Academy. It needed all of this space.
Exams. They had to rent space at a convention center. Kids who attend rich suburban schools sometimes pay $500 an hour for tutoring for tests. But these kids can't afford that. They're mostly from low-income families. They attend a city charter chain, yet they succeed.
Outperforming their peers by a landslide.
On math tests, Success Academy kids outperform every school in New York State. Other charters are in blue on this graph, government-run schools in gray. Success kids also outperform other kids in English.
That is redefining American public education.
LeMay DeYoung is Success Academy's chief schooling officer.
Our Black and Hispanic students outperformed their peers by double, triple % in their math.
By peers, you include the rich kids in the suburbs?
Yes.
Boom!
In their math.
By peers, you include the rich kids in the suburbs?
Yes.
But school is boring.
No, it's not!
When I first checked out this charter, I was amazed that these kids enjoyed school, saying subjects like reading were
rockin' awesome.
So you guys look forward.
Bro, contrast that, right? Contrast that to if you saw SKC's last video on what do you think about reading? It's hard. It causes stress. I don't.
Forward to go.
Checked out this charter, I was amazed that these kids enjoyed school, saying subjects like reading were
rockin' awesome.
So you guys look forward to going to school in the morning?
Yes.
It's why lots of parents want to get their kids into Success Academy. I watch them line up, hoping to get their kids in.
This line goes on and on forever. Goes around the block. What do you do when you have thousands of people, just a few hundred slots? They hold a lottery.
The winners are happy. Sadly, there are many more losers.
That means my name gonna come next time.
Yeah, next year. Not today.
It's so sad. Today, the lottery's done electronically, so we don't get to see the thousands of kids and parents who cry in disappointment. The chain wants to offer its magic to more kids, but they aren't allowed to. New York limits the number of charter schools. Why? Because some people hate them.
Y'all are not welcome here. We will not welcome you here.
Politicians and the teachers' union have convinced many people that charter schools are easy.
Look at that little boy. Look at that little boy. Little does he know he'll probably have the police called on him in just a few short years.
Evil. When progressive Democrats are in charge, they shut some charters down.
The highest performing school in the state.
Upsetting even media leftists.
And it's in Harlem, is being shut down.
Leftists.
And it's in Harlem, is being shut down.
Why shut down a successful school? Why not give parents more choice? Here's a union vice president.
We have a lot of choice. It's do we need more choice?
Yes, competition's good, but the education establishment doesn't want competition.
Education advocates say charter schools are not the answer, taking away from an already shrinking budget in New York.
Bro, teachers are not good people. Are there good teachers? Sure. Does my daughter have some? Sure. But in general, especially in urban areas, they just are not good people.
City public schools.
That's completely wrong.
It is. Spending on government schools is not shrinking, it's increasing despite falling enrollment. Also, charters like Success get half what government-run schools get. Yet,
Yeah, half. They're doing more with less.
with less money, Success does better. Why does Success succeed?
Because we believe children can. And that is
What, the other
fundamentally.
schools don't believe children can?
No, there's low expectations that persist, unfortunately, and even more so after the pandemic.
At other schools.
You know, I got to do it. Consistent with hypothesis, mothers held less favorable expectations for sons and perceived sons to be less academically competent than daughters.
Pandemic-related learning loss is the new normal, but not its success. Every one of these kids has been accepted by a college. Here they cheer as friends open their
Look at the joy. Look at the joy.
accepted by a college. Here they cheer as friends open their acceptances.
That doesn't just happen.
One reason it does is because the school day here is longer.
Kids often stay till 5 p.m. Charter teachers can be asked to work more than the union would have allowed. They told
Bro, there was I read an article, this is a long time ago. This is probably like early 2000s. A teacher who wanted, hey, thanks, Machismo. A teacher who wanted to help kids, right? Just a public school teacher wanted to help kids. She would stay after school and help tutor the kids and kind of help them get caught up in reading, right? The other teachers, right? The shop steward or whoever came over and told her she could not do that. You're not allowed. It's not in the contract. You cannot stay after and help these kids. I was like, I'll be damned. They're not good people, bro. They're not.
told us they don't mind.
But you're going to burn out. Why aren't you ticked off?
That's not an option for us because we kind of have our eye on the prize with these kids.
Now, some Success parents do pull their kids out because of the extra hours required. Critics say that raises average test scores for kids who remain. Probably
Good. Good. If you can't take it, get out. And you know what it weeds out? It weeds out people culturally. Right? And it's not, you know what I noticed, man? I'm going to tell you this. There is, at my daughter's school, I've noticed a trend among people who talk about it. They say right around middle school, right? They say, well, you know, we had to get out. It's politics. Like I've heard that multiple times. It's politics, and they're all around the same age, 7th, 8th grade. And that is when you either break bad as a child or you don't. Like the most innocent 6th grader, you know, breaks bad in 7th and 8th, and by 9th grade, he's a freaking menace on his way to gang banging and doing a 20-year bid. Right? There is a definite thing that happens in middle school. So what I think it is those parents just cannot get with the culture right at this school, because this is a school that is run by a church, and the church is not half-stepping. It's not like fake Christian Academy. You know what I mean? They are about that life, period. Like they have, you know, pillars of the community. You have people who have went there and they're like local officials, fire chiefs, you know, colonels in the army. They even highlighted a lady who in their orientation, she just had 6 kids. They were like, that's how important family is. And they have in like the little arboretum area in the front of the church, they had a whole thing passing down the generations, right? Passing it generation to generation, like actually being Christians, not like, you know, faking the funk and, hey, you know, we're just putting on that face. Because I've seen that at other schools, right? My wife visited another church and another school run by church, and she went like near the end bell, and there were a bunch of teachers in the hallway. She's like, you know, why are all the teachers in the hallway? Well, we've kind of got a bullying problem. Like, what? You've got a bullying problem at a Christian run school? So much so that you have teachers in the hallway to prevent it? No, And I heard about that school, and they're like, well, a lot of non-Christians go there, and they were like, their questionnaire is like super pious, man. Like, it's like you're trying out for the Pope, to be part of this school. When my daughter goes to school, yes, they have, they expect you to be Christians, etc., but it's not real strict. They'll bring you in for an interview, yada, yada, yada. You're good to go, So that separating the wheat from the chaff is real. And so when kids go there and they drop out, it's not because it's more or less because of the home, in my opinion. So if they are not compatible with those expectations, then they got to go.
Well, he does. But so what? High expectations are a good thing for many kids. Thousands from low-income families now succeed because this charter chain innovates. At most schools, the principal sits in the principal's office, not at Success.
No, they're in the classrooms.
What are they telling you?
They're telling me things that I don't see. If I don't think of a great question in the moment, my principal's able to kind of feed that to me.
We expect not only change, but fast change.
Some teachers don't like being watched and criticized.
No, but it's purposeful, and they're getting better. And when they get better, their scholars do better, and they feel, as educators, more successful. And that's what you want.
Most high school students never even take advanced placement tests. Of those who take them in New York City, only half pass. But all Success kids take the tests, and 80% pass.
We were all pretty nervous about this test. It was like, oh my God, wow, I'm really about to take my first AP exam.
You're a freshman. Most people don't take that until junior or senior year, if then.
I think that makes me more proud.
These kids...
9th grade, fool. What's up? 9th grade.
Must be miserable. They're working all the time.
Why are they miserable? They're having fun learning.
Success offers dance and other activities.
Oh, don't tell us,
It's not
KC.
schoolwork all the time.
Chess, debate, theater, music, those aren't add-ons. Those are part of our day.
This student was surprised that her friend at a government-run school had few extracurriculars to put in her college application.
I was like, don't you have any leadership positions? You should just go for student council. And they didn't have one. And I was like, that's shocking. Well, you should make one. And they were like, oh, my school doesn't do that. I was like, okay, how about a club? And she was like, we still don't do that.
Success does make its teachers work harder and longer. Some quit. But so what? Other teachers like it here.
Yeah, quit.
And the goal is for kids to succeed. And they do.
I feel like it's unfair that not everybody gets to get this opportunity.
If SA doesn't exist, then we wouldn't all exist. And we wouldn't have all the cool opportunities that we have.
It's great that the kids here could have a choice and pick a better school. All kids should have that choice. Choice is good in all.
That made me feel good. I want to end this on a high note. And yeah, that's a good feeling right there. That is a good feeling. So that's all we got. We'll end it with student success for charter schools. No, I bet you they don't have metal detectors. I bet you they do not. Oh, man. So happy for those kids, man. That's one of the structural things we could do in America for Americans is school choice nationwide. If the Department of Education wanted to say, if you want any money, you're going to have statewide vouchers. And you know what? They would immediately because they want that money, Hey, thanks, Clue. Appreciate it. Thanks, ZZZ. Appreciate it. But yeah, they could if they wanted to. They very much could. So that's it, man. That's all I got. That's all I got. Oh, one more thing, man. If your dad is still alive, go spend time with him. Got Father's Day coming up this weekend. And at least I think it's this weekend. Isn't it? Yeah, it's the 16th, right? Look that up real quick. I don't pay enough attention. Yeah, Sunday, June 16th. All right, yeah, so it is a Sunday. So, yeah, man, spend some time with your dad, you know. And yeah, that's it, man. Me and my dad had a rough start, you know, but we patched it up. And I got to spend some really good time with him before he passed. And if I knew I would miss him this much, I would have spent even more time with him, you know. And that feeling of not getting enough, not getting enough time just kind of hurt. So yeah, love your parents, love your dad, and spend time with him if he's still here, because you will miss him when he is gone. You will absolutely miss him when he's gone. And on that note, I will see y'all later.